And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 on patch 1.12.3 beta, or at least that's how Steam thinks it is. 1.12.2 had a bug with infamy for certain orgals, such as protector rating, which is something you need to do a lot as India, so I went straight to the beta to have that bug fixed. We're going to let some time pass. We're waiting for infamy to come down, and we're trying to expand the government bureaucracy here so that we can cover our bureaucracy shortfall. Bureaucracy is, well, institutions are expensive in India. Okay. One thing that has begun to change as we're building up is we're getting more tax revenue. Let's invest in more construction sectors. Yeah, at some point I'm probably going to definitely tax Agra. I think our economy of scale, yeah, we don't have a mechanized workshop yet. The economy of scale is still capped at 20. So we're going to put probably 17 government bureaucracies there. Yeah, so we expand the government bureaucracy, our revenue should increase. And then probably when we're done expanding the government bureaucracy, we can turn around and expand paper, wood, or fabric. Contentious topics. The event organized to be a utilitarian movement transformed into a brawl as opponents of the movement infiltrated the crowd. When the police arrived, no participant was willing to give a consistent statement. Zero tolerance, or lower the support for the utilitarian movement. Just piss off the trade unions, that'll be fine. Okay, I can probably afford even more constructive sectors, so let's do that. I'll go a little spammy and go up to 4 here. That should bring us into deficit, but I think we can recover from such a small deficit. Although I could be very wrong, and it may not affect our deficit at all. We shall see. There it goes. Puts us in a very small deficit, which is... okay, puts us in a very small deficit for a very short period of time. One of our generals is dead. Okay, one of the colonies is done, so that's good. They've gone up from vassalization 2 to vassalization 3. This gets us more income from our subjects and more authority from our subjects. It also allows us to do decrees on our subjects, although we almost certainly won't do that. Get the social mobility out, and then I think the rest of that's going to get turned, at least for the moment while we're not passing laws, it's going to get turned into taxes. I want them to generally be taxes on at least the upper class. There's actually an argument maybe to pull those taxes off. Middle or upper class here. So we're looking at things like luxury clothes, luxury furniture. Apparently porcelain's pretty far down. We'll take services. And transport. Transport. Tea. And coffee. Okay, that's not generating very much revenue, but I really don't need don't need that authority for anything at the moment. Organize. we'll just accept that. A new admiral has presented himself at West Bengal, cheerfully claiming to be his peers. No, I'd rather the laborers be happy. I don't really care about the admiral, but that's fine. Yeah, trade union radical, that's fine. Relations with their subjects. Questioning about I want more construction. The answer probably is almost a maybe. Central Archives. More taxation capacity, so that gives more taxes. Faster incorporation speed, and more importantly, gives us the new PM for a standard filing system. This is going to cause the paper costs on our stuff to go up, but I think we can tolerate that. Ports on cargo. If we got trains, use the passenger carriages. And yeah, everything to standardized filing cabinet. Bureaucracy. May have just covered our bureaucracy cost. We're in the UK market, so we can probably run these. Probably have tools, we should probably run that. Do I exploit? No. No, I don't exploit. No exploitative practices are going to stay on standard labor. So the fishing trawlers and the sawmills. Not enough coal in the British market for that, nor enough glass. Enough engines? There is enough engines. Although there's enough glass that we'll do that. We'll turn that on. Coal. And there's enough coal as well. That's just saying that we've got too many services, which is fine. We work too many services. And then we're on... Are we on sulfate processing? No, but we can. We should. Can and we should. Do we have the lead? Yes. Okay. Okay, we're at the point where we want more construction again. Probably another 8 of the wooden ones. We're not necessarily doing the highest efficiency in construction here, and we're not doing it for a reason. We have a potential brewing unemployment crisis. We're not quite as bad off as China. China would be even worse. But we are at a place where we're probably just short of completely filling up all our subsistence farms, so we need to be finding people jobs. It doesn't help that our private queue is doing things like building silk plantations in rice fields, right? So these are rice fields. Each level of this has 10,000 peasants, whereas the things they're replacing with are 5,000. So it's making 5,000 unemployed every time they build something. So we need to be making jobs, not necessarily being construction efficient. Okay, he's bringing us to war. Guyana, so that's okay. Africa. It's an Africa war. Next campaign subject's gonna be Punjab. I can't protect the whole thing. I would have to invade them for particular states. Okay, and that's 22.5 infamy to take all 3 states. That all I've got? It's the 3 states. Yeah, okay. Maybe in an argument we don't necessarily want. We'll have to see what war goals we have after we take one of the states. If we can get the rest as a protectorate or something. So that's what we want. We just can't do that right now because they have too much prestige. Yeah, they're unrecognized major. We'd have to get them to stop being a major, and the easiest way to do that is to take stuff from them. Okay, second colony is complete. So we just got the third largest one to go. Okay, our costs shot up. Let me guess, that's mostly construction costs? Goods for government buildings. Paper. Yeah, so as soon as there's none of the government bureaucracy, it's paper, 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 paper. Let me guess, paper costs in the British market is high. Yeah, of course that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity if I've seen an opportunity. Make paper, and then we'll have lots of revenue. So paper making. We can make paper. 1.3 thousand paper. So that's like 13 paper makers pretty easily. Technically 20 if we're assuming the fact that we don't have the last tech. We'll put 10 there. And then we'll do 10 in East Bengal. Oh, empty pockets. Mining accident. Favor the industrialists. Then state actions. Incorporate Agara. Okay. Max out the gate. A liberal? Yeah, we're not opposed to that. Just let them in. Liberal for a party that doesn't have enough power to be a problem. Anyway, we're waiting for the infamy to drop below... Well, drop to about 2, because I think that's what we need to do what we want. Well, maybe don't need to do... That's a good question. Baluchistan, how much is Baluchistan? To protectorate. Like 3. So yeah, take over that one. Could do Cabal as well, right? So we do Cabal, Baluchistan. Those are both pretty cheap. Well, Cabal is actually pretty expensive. It was 10. And then we can come back to do the rest. Our improves are done, so let's go ahead and assign them to new locations. We need Sindh to be happy, we need Punjab to be happy. We're gonna want Shah to be happy after we're done with not Punjab, Burma. Sindh, Burma, Shah. You're a subject, you're a subject. You're a big one we probably want to do something with. I'm not sure if Ceylon is a subject. Oh, that's Portugal. I don't improve relations protocol. No, I don't need Denmark either. There we go. You can see that we do need to improve relations with Burma and Sind. Less so with Shah. Upgrade colonial offices from 2 to 3. I'm surprised that didn't actually impose the same colonization law on us. Because apparently we were allowed to choose. Interesting. No, infamy generation reduction against unrecognized powers. Shame it's only 5% because we haven't been able to upgrade colonial affairs. I do want to start something with these guys. I should probably start sooner rather than later. So yeah, Punjab is the one we want to do. British may come in, everyone else will sit on the sidelines. They do have a fairly large army, well, or the potential to get a fairly large army, so we will need to full mobilize our existing troops, at least to be threatening, even if we don't really want to fight this war. Sometimes in wars in this game, the answer is no half measures, come in hot, come in hard, scare them from the start. British dictate. Court directors in London have issued directions for us to improve the quality of the university system in each of our presidency cities. We will begin at once, or this is not within our present means. Begins the higher education in East India. British dictate higher education. Okay. For the eyes of the Executive Eden, I have the honor to inform you for the information of the Right Honorable Executive that the Court of Directors has issued the following compendium of directives to make clear its present priorities in India. Please consult the enclosed directives for further information on this matter. So I can put us off. Who's in the British India Association, right? Because if there's no one in that I care about, then I can just piss them off. Then we don't have the extra thing. Although it's the people that we want happy. Fair enough. Okay. Higher education. Let's see if I've just shot myself in the foot by pressing yes. 3 levels of universities in Bombay, West Bengal, and Cathartic. If completed in 5 years. Relations go up to 20, which we really don't care about. Release the appeasement of the British Oil Association for the moment. Okay. Or we basically get the failure result if we fail. So that's not a rush to get done. That's just something to do. They are fearful. I have return claims on some of these. Okay. Is that what the first one is? Oh, it is a return for job. Okay. So we're getting reduced infamy because these are returns. I've got claims on these. Yeah, so I can accept going that high. I don't have enough to take everything. Without going over the infamy threshold where people are going to get a bit grumpy. Let's also... I sway you in with an obligation. Do I need the British? I'm going to say we don't need the British. Any other war goals I can do for just making you scared of me? I could liberate this subject. I'll also come in later for that subject on a different war goal, so let's do that. We'll liberate the subject, and go for humiliation on you. Part of the goal here is to give them lots of things that they can avoid by just giving us Punjab. We basically want them to back down if we can get them to back down. There we go. We're up to 50% of the 80% we need for Consolidate Colonial Rule. Kalat has that many troops. Okay. Why did the... Well, one of our armies was actually fairly small. Oh, because you inherited the Punjabi army. Fair enough. Like, why did it suddenly get real big? Because it's got the Punjabi army. Do it. The Mountain of Light. With the capture of Lahore by Indian forces, we have acquired the legendary Koh-i-Noor diamond. My lord, a detailed account of the Lahore treasury is ready. Of note are 3 gems. And of course, the Koh-i-Noor. Excellent, I much prefer these Indians than the ones across the Atlantic. After all, a diamond is far better addition to one's cap than a feather, wouldn't you say? Quite so, my lord. Prepare them for transport, we must ensure they are present in the grand expedition, proof for conquest in the east. So I can gain radicals for the 22% radicals across the entire country. In exchange, we make the British like us. We're transported to our treasury in Calcutta. Yeah, I'm not taking 2% radicals across the entire country. Like, it's automatic to ship it to the to England, but no. And that's got a pretty good, decent likelihood that they're no longer going to be recognized major, although I might be wrong there, and they might stay unrecognized. Yeah, they're supposed to drop to regional, so if we just give them enough time, they'll, I'll be able to come back and subjugate them for the rest. Up to 58%. So we just picked up, we got all of Punjab, we don't have hills, Sindh, them, Quetta, Kashmir, Baluchistan. Okay, there's more Baluchistan to go. Mandalay's in the east. Them, Shah, Pegu. So we got Kabul and Kalat. Or Kabul, Kandahar, and Makaran to take over while we're waiting for the cooldown on EU. Kabul, I think, was going to be fairly expensive. What about Makara? Oops. Although Kabul, I could probably just take what we need, right? It's just the two border ones. Oh, you're out of my default... Oh, you're in my default industry. Why don't I have... Are you someone else's subject? Yes. Okay, so I need to make Kalat my puppet, so I get them as a subject. Okay. And then we need the infamy to go down so we can go into Kabul. Because they're 9.4. Fair enough. There's intensive agriculture. If I can get away with running the PMs, I'll run those PMs. Some of these are also, well, we just took over a new state. So that's what those were. Okay, so I don't have a fertilizer factory. Is there enough fertilizer in the market? We make enough productivity that the minus would not be a bad thing. It's just going to be more food. That's pure positives. Standard labor, standard labor. Law Safety Department, standardized filing cabinet. I don't like the fact that we're running quite such a large deficit. Again, that's coming from the government codes, that's coming from all the paper. Well, also in the fact that we are a subject. Screw frigate, okay. Reinforced wooded ships is not bad. I think that's also an upgrade to the... No, it isn't. Why isn't everything swapping? Oh, it has to be in the human belt for that. So until we get to mechanized workshops, that one can't be upgraded. Okay, fair. Almost there with Sind. Share knowledge with them? I don't think we're gonna bother. Expected proselytization again. We're gonna say no. We're promising no conversions. Cross-border investments. Sure, you can do that. No longer forced to join Great Britain's wars. Okay. And our colony is complete. So that's probably helping with the consolidate colonial rule. I'm gonna run the risk of raising taxes. Yeah. Just trying to balance the budget a little bit more. What's suffering input goods shortage? Iron. There's not enough iron in the market. Okay. Oh, City of Plenty. Pick the one that doesn't have the minimum expectation of living. Now, in theory, what I've done has destabilized them, apparently not enough. Because we got low liberty desire, which is good to see. I actually needed to burn before Sind. Oh, and Burma is also stable. That's maybe not good. What can I do to improve that? Make the relations better. Get our well, prestige is high enough, and our army power production is high enough. Oh, we could try to get some pro groups going. Okay. get those universities queued. So it's those three. Bombay. Victoria Terminus, okay. And here. Yeah, I don't like how it looks like our expenses are going up and not down. I'm doing what I can to build paper, and the paper prices are staying stagnant. Yeah, paper prices are staying stagnant. Okay, we'll complete pharmaceuticals. And then chemical bleaching, so we can do... I'll guess the paper change sooner. A bunch of improved relations have broken because they're done. Okay, perfect plot. I think Ceylon's one of our subjects. No, they're British subject. Okay. I can not do that one. Oh, I should do Makaran, because they're a subject of subject. Okay, I can break a couple of the rivalries, or I can keep them for the infamy reduction. Keep them for the infamy reduction. Oh, we're at the point where it is Kabul's turn. Join the subject list. It should be lowering the cost on law enforcement. I'm understanding what that does. Makes it 25% lower enforcement cost. Okay. It's added political movement activism down. Okay, that's good. And the institution change speed is faster. Okay, looks like this war is actually going to go hot. We were, in fact, not scary enough to get them to get the war. So we will full mobilize and kick in the door. Okay, it's done. Want to improve relations with them. Yeah, they're our subject, Jammu. Or actually, no, we want to check when is our peace treaty with you ends. 45, 2 years. Oops, I'm hitting F, not D. Hitting the wrong button. Pharmaceuticals is done. Do I think I can get away with another institution? I'm gonna try squeezing another institution here. This may not be a great plan. Sure, more political concessions. Oh, Jammu's independent. Oh no, they're protectorate. They went from tributary status. So they went down a kind of independence tier, I think. Yeah, tributary tier. That's fine for us. The art of doing nothing. Just gonna welcome their support. If I want those universities, I need to move them up. Actually, want to get them done in time. We'll finish the paper we're working on and then move on to the next. Got Springtime of the Peoples kicking around, although that doesn't really affect us out here in the east. Health taxes. Get by without it. Big boost, but a lot of government expenses. We'll say we can get by without it, because I think we can get by without it. Two to 3, that gives us more authority, I think, on the third one. Yeah. Although not by much. Because we haven't upgraded that institution very much. Okay, well, making Kalat a subject. This will delay Burma, but this will get me access to the next one. I need to subjugate over here. So we'll take Kalat as a subject. Ankara is no longer a subject of the thing, except they are, because they just moved from one type to the other type. That's fair. And then we can move into you. We make you a protectorate. Yes, 4.5. I don't need the really big bonus, we'll take the smaller bonus. There's no soul chance, so we can take our time on this law. truth. We're not trying to convert you. Okay, this is going to go to a hot war, although it's a war that we're going to win pretty quickly with it being a hot war. So we're just going to mobilize up to full and get it nice, get it done quickly. And I think that leaves us one more to go, other than making Burma a puppet. And learning. Loss of a king. Cool. Kandahar is a protectorate. So in goes the diplomat. Make them happier. And now we're just waiting for the peace treaty with you, which goes away on October 45. Okay, we now have public health insurance, which is... that was more expensive than I was expecting. Man, it's only supposed to be like minus 1,000. We're still only minus 2,000. What changed in the calculations there? We pissed someone off that's providing us admin or something. We lost the stamped inside. Okay. Although... looks like it should trend up. This will probably recover shortly. And in fact, I think the British dictate here will buff that. I think we're going to get that done in time. Well, that might be a bit close. Might be a bit close. Might have run it too close. That'll be an issue. Okay, we're waiting for Burma or the peace treaty. Okay. Construction 1. Okay, that's nice. Madras advocate. Monetization. Pop traction's nice there. Eye of the Needle. Indebted peasants in Bombay have launched a series of rebellions against local moneylenders, intending to destroy the record of their debts. Sir, the farmers are burning records of the debts. In some cases, they're attacking the moneylenders themselves. Shall we send the police to intervene? In the corner of the governor's mouth twitched. Well, it's hardly surprising, sir. The Hindu word for farmers is ryot. The ryots are rioting. Why are we surprised? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take the... we're gonna piss the aristocrats off instead of extra devastation. Foreign manifesto. Okay, that's fine. Technical talents. Ooh, yeah, I think I cut it too close to the universities. The universities aren't going to be done in time. Which is going to piss more people off. Okay. Nationalism, so it's more authority, which means more taxes. Plausibly. Yeah, we'll take the fruit tax. Oh, and we're far enough along, we can now make you the subject. They're also a lot weaker, so they're more likely to just back down. Unlike the first time where we actually had to... Well, actually, they backed down the first time, so... Can I do a transfer subject to get the other one as well? Yeah, that'll speed us up. Getting to our objectives. And they back down. Which meant, in this case, I didn't get the second subject, but that's fine. Consolidate colonial rule. We're done. It's going to get us company men, which is going to make the East India Trading Company more powerful. And improve our relations with all the princely states. There we go. Oh, I got to choose between them. Do I want more relationship with all the princely states, or company men? We'll go company men. Is there any laws I can do to make the industrialists happier? Free trade. Commercialize agriculture if it was available. No migration controls. Private schools, poor laws. So I don't think we can afford the bureaucracy to go up to schooling. What's the opposition we got at no migration? The Riots. Okay. Maybe would almost certainly leave government if I were to do that. Debt slavery. We would like to get slavery banned. Who's actually opposed to this? I'm gonna risk trying to get slavery banned. Okay, so we can get buffs to it, but we can't get rid of the stall. Fair enough. Political concessions, I'm on board with that. Can I do political concessions for the Hindu priests as well? Yes. There we go. Bessemer process. I don't think we have any steel mills for that to affect. Yeah, no steel mills for that to affect. I suppose at this point for the unstable Raj... Okay, we're downtrending, so we're gonna have to be a little bit careful because we've pissed off the landowners. That's fair. We need to get radicalism down. We need to get standard living up. And then we can complete this and fully stabilize. Oh, that's part of the reason we're moving to ban slavery. General training for the barracks. Okay. What's the other faction? The army? Can I do a political concessions to you as well? Yes. If you want peace, prepare for war. Business of legislation. Okay, so that is a weird... Just thought of a weird way to potentially lower government goods. Which is I could start downgrading the bureaucracies. That would swap it more to more employment costs, but might be tolerable because the paper costs are still so high. Well, they are coming down. Construction 1 to Construction 2. Okay. Pro-slavery movement is militant. Only up to 76. If it can pass this fast enough, this is not going to be a concern. Yeah. Because this will start coming down the moment it's done. And then maybe we can do something to try to appease the landowners. Kidney stones. Ow. Tuberculosis. Okay, so I would not be surprised if the pro-slavery landowner here disappears very rapidly. Life among the lowly. Yeah, I gotta get these guys calmed down to stabilize the Raj as reasonably quickly as we can. Although we're not necessarily in a super rush. And then I need to work on raising the standard of living after that. The mob approaches. And we're going to need more cav from admin. East Bengal does not seem a terrible place to put that. Slavery banned. We'll do that. This should calm down pretty quickly now that the law's passed. Oh, and the landowners are now a lot weaker. They're no longer so powerful. Although they're probably still destabilizing us a little bit. Yeah. Really, that's the one that's worrying. Are there any laws that we'd be willing to pass to make you happy? A lot of people do support the caste system. This would improve the minimum acceptance for a lot of people. And I think we could probably just stomach the qualification growth malices. Plus 80, and then it's actually a bunch of minuses, I think. So other than the qualification growth, that's really the only big problem here, is qualification growth. Oh, and the maximum acceptance would be an issue if we ever got on to multiculturalism, but that's way off in the future. And then from an acceptance standpoint, well, it looks like the trade unions, the civil servants, and the petite bourgeoisie are the ones that are opposed to it, whereas everyone else kind of likes it. What's the petite bourgeoisie's opinion? Sovereignist. Okay, that's not... Oh, interesting. They support multiculturalism. So at some point we might want to empower them enough and figure out how to make them a stable component of government so we could swing into multiculturalism. Okay, and they both want affirmative action and caste system not enforced at the same level. So if we get onto multiculturalism, then we'd want to go affirmative action. That's probably how we want to play that. So yeah, I think we're going to support caste system codified, which should calm down them a lot. Yeah, a lot. We're almost stable there. That's probably good enough. And I suppose I could negotiate to reduce soul chance 21%. Okay. What do you want? Can I give you... That'd be 14 in 10 years. That'd be 18. 18, we probably want to do that anyway. So I just wouldn't necessarily have anything to support. Per capita is something we probably want eventually, although we don't necessarily want it right now. Slate industries include papermaker? It does. There you go. Okay, it said minus 21%. It only took us down to 1.9. Close enough. And it's a commitment to do a thing I'm going to do already, so no real complaints there. And yeah, we want more paper. Well, the British market wants more paper, and I'm on board with supplying it right now. And what, that's 17 levels. We can always turn that down if the private queue makes some as well. Well, it doesn't look like the private queue is doing that at the moment. Okay, we're positive in the government bureaucracy, so let's take those to the bottom, get started on the paper mills. Okay, we are stable for the moment, so we're not panicking there. We need standard of living up, basically. Standard of living up, radicals down. Radicals down is probably just need to get the tax balanced without having to run high taxes. And the standard of living is expand healthcare. No. No. Why did you do this to yourself? Let's take the bonus to manage sewage. We'll do the common ground to lower the calm the masses. Because I don't need the I don't think we need a better chance to pass the law. I didn't necessarily want to make the real folk stronger. Yeah, I think we're going to finish passing this law, and that's where we're going to put the part break in. I need to figure out how to make the country make money. That's where we're at. We're figuring out how to make the country make money. Oh, we can stop suppressing that movement. Clothes and furniture. Yeah, we're taxing a bunch of stuff. Maybe not super efficiently. There might be better things to tax. Or it might be the situation where we need to make the things we're taxing, so we can tax them more. This is one question. Do I have a tax on paper? Apparently our people aren't consuming very much paper because it's expensive. Fair enough. We'll cycle a week, see if that changes much. Yeah, they give us a bunch more bureaucracy. I think we probably want to spend that. Just need a little bit more bureaucracy, and we can spend it on healthcare, which is what we want to spend it on. Again, the next best tax is coal, so we'll do coal. And diplomacy-wise, the more I make these guys puppets, the more taxes we're going to get. So the question here is, which one do you want to tax or want to convert first? Probably Burma. Burma. Yeah. Because that gives us another subject. Gives a bit more authority, and I think that increases our taxes overall. Okay. I think this is a good place to put the part break in and bring the stream for today to a close. We still got the unstable Raj that we need to stabilize, which is mostly bringing the radicals down and the standard of living up. Standard of living was higher at the beginning of the game. In fact, arguably from the beginning of the game, we were at 9.7, so we were really close to the goal, which is only to get it up to 10. 9.1 isn't unachievable. I think 9.1... Well, there's a couple different ways we can go about achieving 9.1. One is we could give away states that actually have low standard of living to raise the average. That might be one way to do it. That's probably the easiest way to do it. There might even be a way to get rid of some of the radicals, because the radicals are localized to certain locations. Like Bombay right now has pretty high radicals, so say if we could give Bombay away, that would save us both categories, right? In fact, that might be the solution. It might literally be, do we have a way to make a subject of Bombay? That might be a little bit of a gamey solution, but I'm not always above gamey solutions. Don't need to Bengal, Orissa, Hathaway, Tassarim, Bihar. No. No one... Well, none of our releasables are Bengal. Although, maybe that's because I could probably give Bengal just to one of our subjects as well. For example, I could say, give you... Is it Bombay that I... Yeah, it would be Bombay I'd want, right? Yeah, Bombay. You'd become the owner, which would take all the radicals from here away. And this place is only 8.2 standard living, so it would roll up the standard living as well. Not gonna jump right to doing that, but that's something we could contemplate for next time. How many radicals are here? I suspect there's not a small number. I'm trying to think if there's a good way to check. Well, it's also got unemployment, right? So it's getting grumpier as time goes on. And then actually, we can use council there, because we're not going to do that right now. But we can see it's one of the major sources of our radicals. Punjab is... In fact, actually, Punjab might be tempting just to give back to Punjab. Yeah, we'll probably think about giving Bombay away and giving Punjab away and see where that leaves us. Because once we've stabilized the Raj, I believe... Choose one of the following effects company rule modifier improved. All the following central archives, if it has not been researched, get central archives. If it does not have central secret police, get secret police, or gets Indian Imperial Palace. Okay. Oh, and the end company rule. So we can specifically end company rule at some point. We wouldn't have it forced on us, which works. Reasonable. Yeah, we'll think about how we want to deal with the unstable Raj. I think we have options that may be faster or slower. Giving away our sources of radicals is probably the quickest route to stabilizing it. Because we need to get radicals under 10%. It's right now like 15%, so if we could focus on just getting rid of the radicals, that would work. and then getting the standard of living up higher, which is basically giving away the place with the lowest standard of living. So Bombay's pretty low. That place is reasonably low. Punjab's actually pretty high, so that's maybe an argument not to give away Punjab. Although, if we're just giving it back to Punjab, so when we integrate the rest of Punjab, we get it back. That's not really as much of a problem. And they've changed Invoke Doctrine Lapse to... I don't think there's a timer on this anymore. Yeah, I don't think there's a timer on this, so I think we can do this a lot faster. Although we do lose this, I believe, if the revolt happens, the unstable rush happens. So that's one reason we don't want to have the open rebellion. Is because we may want to do the Doctrine Lapse at some point. Yeah, I think we're off to a good start here. If you're watching on YouTube, there will likely be another part up tomorrow. This stream was a short stream because we actually had a long stream on the last Victoria 3 run. So the USA run, we did a 6-hour stream on what was originally planned to be a 4-hour stream. So to let YouTube catch up a bit, we recorded 2 parts tonight. Plus, it's Christmas Eve, and I'd like to go to bed a little bit earlier. I say that at 2 in the morning, or coming up on 2 in the morning. So let me bring up the schedule so I can remind Twitch what's coming up over the next couple days. If you're watching this on YouTube, these are things that have been recorded just a little bit earlier, so if you can't wait for them to show up onto YouTube, feel free to hop over to Twitch. You can watch the VODs over there. They do stay up for about 14 days after the stream. So tomorrow is Christmas. I'm not going to stream on Christmas. If you want to see content, if you're watching on Twitch, you can go hop over to YouTube. There will be new releases on Christmas, including I did an overview of Shadow Empire subunits. That should have just come out on Christmas. I say come out on Christmas, realizing that was an hour and 58 minutes ago for me, technically, as it's technically about 2 a.m. Christmas morning. But I'm still thinking it was Christmas Eve. So, no stream on the 25th. 26th, we will have Shadow Empire. I think we're getting pretty close to where we might be able to swing a victory there. I think if we are able to swing a victory, though, it'll be a diplomatic victory. There's so much empty planet that I think winning any way that isn't diplomacy is going to be taking over just lots of empty territory, which is a way to win. And will be the way we win if that's what we have to do. But I think we might be able to get it done a little bit earlier with diplomacy. So, Shadow Empire Friday. Saturday will be Terra Invicta. Sunday will be Panzer Corps 2. And then we'll be back to playing this on Monday the 30th, which is New Year's Eve? Yeah, the day before New Year's. New Year's Eve. I think of New Year's Eve as New Year's, but technically you stay up to New Year's on New Year's Eve. It's how you do the holiday, right? So that's the schedule up to the 30th. Assuming we don't win Shadow Empire, we'll probably be doing 26, 27th, 20... Oh, I've got one of them labeled wrong. Panzer Corps I've got labeled as the 29th. It's actually the 28th. So that puts the 30th as... So 26th will be Shadow Empire, 27th will be Terra Invicta, Panzer Corps will be 28th, 29th will be Victoria 3 on Monday. 30th, which is Tuesday, will probably be Shadow Empire, unless something comes up and we're delayed there. Or, unless we finish Shadow Empire. We could potentially finish Shadow Empire. And then that would put... The 31st would probably be Terra Invicta. We'll see how I decide to do stuff after Christmas. I might try to record 5 parts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we can do another skip day on New Year's Eve. That way we don't end up getting interrupted by the family to go cheer on New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's the upcoming schedule. I hope everyone has been enjoying If you want a comment responded to and you're watching on Twitch, now's a good time to leave them. I'm going to bring the stream down probably just before the ads start. With that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time, regardless of whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. And with that, bye for now.